Even those who carried hope as thought it was a public duty. There is stillness now. In the space of your voice, once held a gentle rhythm, where your counsel used to rise. The country feels the absence, not in great declarations, but in the quiet recognition that a guiding presence has gone beyond the horizon. In remembering you, the nation looks back with clarity on the persistence, on the endurance, the willingness to withstand the cost of principle. Now the journey is complete. The work you carried so long returns to the hands of others. And the country moves forward with the imprint of your striving woven quietly into the future. Raila Amolo Odinga, your name settles now among those who shaped our path. Recorded, not noise, but the calm permanence of history. Rest in peace.
Now we want to do it as spoken word, just two stanzas, the first two stanzas. Force it to be a spoken word.
Joey! Racist. We are racist, you people. Joey! The news arrived quietly, as loss often does. A simple message that altered the shape of the morning. For a moment, the day stood still, and the familiar words felt slightly displaced. We had imagined you enduring well beyond the reach of time, moving steadily through the nation's seasons, as you always had, persistent, deliberate, present. It was easy to believe that history would continue to borrow your steps.
Have you noticed the difference? Have you noticed the difference? This is spoken word that is actually a solo verse that is being forced to be. And then you say, hawa watoto ni vile hawawezi leta kama watu wa industry. It is you who is the problem, the script writer. Then we have people who take narratives. They take narratives and then they try to change the narrative into a spoken word. Madam, yes, that story, is it a true story? You are sure it's a true story? Because it's going to come a narrative, you need a true motive. So it's a true story. So I took that narrative and I want to force it to be spoken word. Where is Teacher Foy? And Chair, we've grown, isn't it? We used to use industry players. Now we are using our own.
Chesegere is the title. Listen, gather round. Let me rewind the tape back to a homestead where poverty used to knock like it was part of the family estate. Where school fees was a rumor, shopping was a prophecy, and opening day felt like judgment day. Unaitishwa kila kitu except your blood tube. That morning, my father, Chris Langat, may his soul rest in peace, stood outside with the wisdom of a village elder, looked at us, looked at the compound, then looked at our last born cow, Madame Jessegel. A queen, yes, but a queen who was so skinny, she could pass through a mosquito net without touching the sides. Then he said, the words that broke my soul and bad Wi-Fi. Go and look for a buyer. Sell that cow. Hey, my heart did a backflip. Jessegel was not livestock. Jessegel was family. Jessegel was history. She was tradition. She was. My sister was family. She was history. She was tradition. She was bonds with feelings, man. But hunger doesn't negotiate. So Sharon and I hit the road like memories or like missionaries with a calling. First stop, the butcheries. But the butchers looked at us again like, hey Martha, we sell meat, not hope. One even whispered, we sell a cow or a long-term project. You count her ribs from outside the gate. She was downloading herself slowly. So we changed strategy. If she can't be eaten, maybe she can be married. Enter Mama Tony, cow buyer, investor, agriculture, tycoon of the village. We greeted her with all the respect we could borrow and asked if she could buy Jessegel. Jessegel, my sister. Her first question, sharp like a slap at dawn. Anatumia AI. Sharon instantly understood I did. I thought AI was some special imported high-class supplement, artificial intelligence for cows. So I confidently answered, Havana, anakula nyasi peke yake. Natural diet, organic, gluten-free. Sharon looked at me, Father Lord, take me now. But Mama Tony wasn't done. She hit us with Mugona ndume kwenu. Ndume, madam, we barely had one cow. A tipul. We were struggling with mammals, luxury items like bulls were for people who paid school fees before the opening day. Before we could even explain, she chased us away. Chased us! She chased us away, saying she can't buy a cow that gets served by any bull passing by. It is just a girl who was on the streets. A cow with no morals, a bovine Jezebel. Hey, I was offended on behalf of all cows in the country. So we walked home, Sharon crying silent tears of embarrassment, me carrying loud tears of rejection, and Jessegel walking beside us like, when we reached home, I looked up the heaven and unpaid in turn, like an unpaid in turn, and said, God, please bless me. Give me a life where don't shame me publicly. My mother listened quietly, whispered, I don't know what this means. Like she was submitting a prayer request to Heaven Express. Went to wash her face, she came out, and with the authority of a prophetess, she declared, this is written in Kalenjin, I don't know what it means, but that is the end of the narrative.
Even the presenter amesema that is the end of the. It's a very interesting narrative, isn't it? But you take it now, and you want to use the back door and sneak it in as a spoken word. Thank you, Madam President. Tuendelee. So, I've said you are writing for the ear, not the eye, and then use the right parameters. Don't borrow, and then you want to convince us that you are doing spoken word. Then, after you are done, refine and revise. Edit your poem. Toa unnecessary words. And then, always seek for feedback. Because had you consulted your friend, they would have told you, hey, mimi nasikia kama hii inakaa narrative. Ama mimi naona kama hii ni nini? Solovers. So always seek for feedback. After you've scripted now, format the script for performance and always adhere to festival rules. The rule says 5 minutes. You bring a piece that is 10 minutes. And you want people to understand you. It is not possible. Follow the rules. The language that you are using. Is it appropriate for the level of to the level of the learner? Is it appropriate even to your audience? How are you clothing your language? Bwana Mike, ni mimi niko juzi hata sikuiti CEO. Bwana Mike, hebu nipe ile story ya Donjo Mabel.
Now, it's a song we all know, and when we are talking about spoken word, it brings in the subtleness of use of language and using what we know to communicate a story, as she said. But then, you know the song Donjo Mabel? There is the singer is first giving us a background of the story, like a set of songs. And look at the one play in these 2 lines. You help me with them. Tuko CBD kwa penthouse. Can you say it the way he said it? Tuko CBD kwa penthouse. The next line is una something ni bidii si guesswork. And this guy is talking about the power, how ready they are to exploit their talent. And so he's using wordplay, tuko CBD kwa penthouse. Wengine wanadhani CBD ni guesswork. But later they say they are ready, lakini
juu ya bidii tunazoza,
and they are ready for a Grammy.
na ni magrami tu ndio tunangoja.
So in simple terms, you are saying that your spoken word can communicate depending on choice of words to paint your setting and your story, so that you get the mental picture. Zingine tutaongea baadaye.
Medonjo Mabel. Medonjo Mabel. Tachata tukimaliza.
Wacha mchanganyiko.
Manoa karibu alete karatasi.
Analeta mchanganyiko.
Ache mchanganyiko, si ndio? So, after you've done, you've structured your piece, then make sure to integrate the stage directions, because sometimes as you sit on that bench you realize the scripts that are brought, it's just a block thing. So you wonder, is it a narrative? Is it a what is this? So please format your pieces well, put the stage directions where they are supposed to be, put where we are supposed to be having music, you cue. Okay? And when we are talking of music, simnaona. When talking of music, you can have an accompanying performer, because you have space for one person, maybe to sing as you are performing, or you can use the audio, isn't it? Now, there was an issue that some people bring performers backstage to sing. We don't see them. Unajua utaweza kuwa umeleta sauti sol, ndio hapo nyumba mwenyewe, isn't it? Not a learner. So if you have an accompanying singer who is accompanying you, please let us see that learning. Okay? And we move now to the verbal techniques. Simon? So the verbal techniques are the voice projection. Very important. And remember, when performing in our festival, you will not be given a mic, isn't it? So if your learner is like Farouk, then you'll be disadvantaged. If your learner is like Nyakwardani, then you will score. So voice projection is very, very important. The tonal variation, because tone conveys mood. For example, can we read I have a dream? Just read it, don't sing. I have a dream. Can you do it joyfully?
I have a dream.
Is that joyful?
I have a dream.
Can you do it with sorrow? Anger?
I have a dream.
Thank you. You've used your tone to give us various moods. To the left. The pacing, the rhythm. The pause. When he says that then the unthinkable happened. You see that silence? It also communicates, and it makes you feel the peace. So you can have your after a shocking line, okay? Like Raila Amolo Odinga, Baba, the enigma, the father of democracy. Then the unthinkable happened. Or when you say, when the truth finally arrived, we were busy shouting to hear it. Emotional coloring. That is adding tone to your voice so that the audience can feel the emotion. And the emotions, can be fear, joy, anger, nostalgia. Like, I remember the day everything changed. This one we use it for Nashtubi for composition. Can you say this? It can mean anything. See, it changed for good or for worse. Kwa sorrow, ama kwa si kitu mzuri.
I remember the day everything changed. I remember the day everything changed.
Happiness, joy.
I remember the days everything changed.
You're getting it? The way you bring out the emotions in that piece really matters. Wordplay and poetic devices. And I want to take a few moments to talk about wordplay, because wordplay actually is the heartbeat of our spoken word poetry. But before that, we have key terms that we normally use and people don't get it. Alliteration, assonance, that one is, those ones are poetic devices. Move, Okola. So, Okola ameenda mbio anaona time yangu, nasaidia Manoa. Tulikuwa kwa assonance, twende. So we have the rhyme, and in rhyme we have what we call internal and end rhyme. For example, their parents' plea for unity is our shared responsibility. Are you getting the rhyme? Unity and responsibility. One is in the middle, then we have another one at the end. Then we have metaphors. When you say one thing to mean another, and you create that image. Simile, and then we have pun, wordplay with two meanings. I am a teacher. I have too many lessons to ignore. Are you getting it? I am a teacher. I have too many lessons to ignore. Okay? And just here. Then we go to visual techniques. And this is where now the audience sees the performance, the body language, the movement, the facials. And these techniques are the things that now bring your performance, it makes your performance alive. And without sound, we don't even need sound to make your performance alive. So we have facial expressions, and the way you use your eyes, the way you lift your brows, the mouth, the way you twist it. You know, some, like us women, we know how to communicate using our face. I can look at Penina and we want to sengenya Huntington. So I'll just say, Penina, Penina. I have communicated, isn't it? So the way you use your face, the expressions, very important. Gestures. These are deliberate hand movements. Like someone yesterday tried to describe Okwacho, and they say, we want us to appreciate Okwacho because, so you know the size of Okwacho. Let's use our hands. And we clapped like so. I want to appreciate Susan Odell. Let's use our hands again to appreciate Sue. Thank you. Then let's move. I want us to move to key terms. Blocking. Blocking is the way you use your stage. You know where to stand, when to move, and where not to move. Then we have levels. Like I said, mimi niko juu, Mike was down, but you said you could not see him. So he had to use levels. No matter mimi ni level enough. If whether I'm down or up, sindio? So levels, those are the rostrums. And the spoken word, unlike solovers, especially the one that is dramatized, it depends with the stage and the place you are performing. What is important is the body, because haina kukimbia shuka panda no. Then we move to the proxemic space, and how you use space is very, very important. You know, there are people who, when they talk, they're like, you see now, I know it's lunchtime, I know my time is almost up, but please just give me 2 more minutes, and then I've distracted you, isn't it? With the way I am moving. So the way you use your space, the way and the principles, the facilitator, usinisumbue na costume. But spoken word just needs very minimal costumes that communicate, costumes that speak. Sawa sawa? I want to talk about the importance of wordplay and pun in scripted spoken word, because wordplay plays a very central role. So, number 1, it adds depth and layers of meaning. For example, we broke up, but it's my heart that is paying the damages. You get the layered meaning. There's the literal meaning and the metaphorical meaning. We broke up, yes, but what is happening to me? Like I'm in a depression. My heart is not yet at peace. Number 2, they create catchy punchlines that always stick in the audience's mind. You vote with your stomach, then blame your head for. You are getting it. Who is the problem here? The stomach. Why are you blaming your head? And then they enhance the rhythm and flow and the musicality. You see, like silent storms of sorrow slowly swallow souls. Okay? Next. They boost engagement through surprise and wit. You know, for example, you say, I don't chase cloud. I let cloud class the I let cloud or chase the cloud for my vision. It should be chase the cloud. 2020. And then they make your poem both intellectually and emotionally vivid. We say the language that you use should be vivid, should be able to create pictures. My dream grew wings, but I clipped them before they could fly. Si umeona create image hapo, your wings, and then clipped before you could fly. And they show linguistic creativity and cultural identity. And finally, they help the structure of the poem, okay? They give you the transitions, the climax points, you know when to punch and leave, you know when to put something that will make the audience, the audience to be alive. And then actually, when you have those wordplays, they make your poem, your poem easy to perform. So practical ways that you can write wordplay and puns. You can use proverbs, the proverbs that you know. For example, there, a stitch in time saves 9, isn't it? But silence in time breaks. You can use double meaning. I need change, but all I get is loose change. You get the double meaning? If you don't get it, yeah. Then you can also twist common sayings like, I'm looking for a sweetheart. Just someone with a sweet heart. Okay? And the stylistic devices, especially, I'm not dwelling there because Esther really tackled them well. And then we can flip expectation. You set up one meaning and then you deliver another. And then you can also turn some observation into complexities, like, unlike the stomach, really common. Like when mtu akikwambia amekutukana, si ndio? Unlike the stomach, the heart does not, the head does not tell empty. Unlike the stomach, the head will not tell you when it is empty. Then there is another one, and I know we will love this. The difference between a bar and a bra is the place where the placement of R. Okay? But the common thing with them that if you leave it open, you leave them open, men always get excited. Isn't it? Then finally, as we finish code switch, the key terms that we use in spoken word poetry, code switching. That is shifting between two or more languages. For example, you say calm down, but my mama says Julia, and that hits deeper. That's code switching. Then there's code stitching, and here tulikuwa tumeshapanga na chair. Akuja hata yang'are kidogo kwa session yangu. Let me
huyo demu ni msukuu. She has proper nyash. Okay, I didn't say anything. That was not me. Let me quickly talk about the chair. Now I'm now talking like a chair, not Lillian, so I can steal more time. We have code switching, we have code stitching, and we have code mixing. So code switching is when you are speaking in English and then you completely turn into the Luo. you've heard Luos talking on phone in public vehicles, okay? I'm going to Nairobi, and I want to be there before the flight leaves me. Koroki kutimre kamano kulitana. Okay? That's called mixing. Code stitching is picking a single word, just a single word. Okay? To finish kumalo in a sentence, just that one, for a very specific purpose. And then code switching is like what the narrator did here with that story. He was telling the story in English, and then there are those moments that could only be expressed in Kikalenjin. You can't capture them in English, so you bring that. In our spoken word, we prefer that you either use code switching and code stitching, but not code mixing. Si hapo tuko poa? Asanteni.
Thank you, Chair. Actually, I was using Chair to steal more time. Sinaona kunaliwe yapo. And then again, just to remind you that Chair is a powerful presenter of verses also. Then we have what we call the tagline. And that one is a repeated line or punchy statement that you use throughout your piece. Like, for example, Joey, unaenda kidogo, Joey, or you can decide Baba, or Amolo, Raila, Amolo, Odinga, as you present. Then layering is when you have multiple meanings, and then, or interpretation in one line or sections. My heart is a classroom, everyone enters but few learn. So we have the literal meaning, that is the space, and then the symbolic is about relationship and lessons. Then we have the punchline, that is a clever, witty, or powerful line that hits hard emotionally or humorously. Okay? So, as I finish, as you go forth to spread the word, I'll ask Mwalimu wa Barazani to come and finish with that Swahili piece, and we'll see how he has code switched.
Thank you. Ndoto ya kuota. Zuena ameota ndoto, na ndoto yenyewe imekataa kuota. Ana ndoto moto ya kuwa msanii mtalii wa jamii, apige sanaa kwa jukwaa. Ngoma ameandika, ile wazazi wake ngoma wamegeuka mchongoma. Kazi yao kuchoma talanda. Yeye ni fundi machachari, hatari wa mistari. Ndoto yake awe calligraph, the OG. Lakini nyumbani mambo ni rafu. Eti usanii na pombe zote ni kitu kimoja. Ni haramu. Wanataka kumpa key ya masomo, yeye anataka key ya piano, achezeshe ama piano. Zuena ameota amebadilika kwa dakika, akawa tajika. Tungo za bongo ziwatoe mapengo kwa bongo, akawa Kongo na sio uongo. Lakini nyumbani mambo ni makali, eti amemea pembe juu. Alisoma vitabu za Longhorn Publishers, sauti yao asikii. Lakini Zuena anasikia sauti soul, anasikia. Zuena anaota kichezesha mashabiki ya kiki kila siku ya wiki. Anaota kipanga show za KPLC, show za power. Lakini wazazi wanasema karibu karo, tena itakuwa kero kuchezesha bana kina karo. Eti
ni afadhali kuwa daktari, awe mahiri daktari. Hawajui hata Dr. Chameleone bado ni daktari wa jukwaa. Zuena anaota kama ndege apae, apande ndege, lakini sasa anapaa tu kwa mawazo. Yeye na umaskini ni kama terms and conditions, kazi yao kutembea pamoja. Mimi na wewe tunamwita Zuena, lakini jina lake halisi ni Steve, na sio Simple huyo boy. Asanteni.
Thank you, Teacher PM. And finally, you want to tell me the pieces that have been performed here. Can they be put out there? Can we monetize them? Eh? Can we monetize them? Do we need a lot to do that? Hii piece ukiweka ama the ones that have been performed, ukiweka kwa TikTok, will it sell? Will it sell?